wanted to tell you about some of our clients and the work we're doing for them. And then a thought struck me. How many of you know not just what we do, but what our clients do? I'm used to working with teams of people who are deeply involved in the process of movie making. So I forget here at GPL, we all come from different professional backgrounds. What I take as common knowledge may be new to some of you. I thought it'd be interesting to share with you a brief look at how movies are made from start to finish, where our clients fit in, and how we help them. Movie making is an exciting but very complicated business. There are 5 stages to making a feature film: development, pre-production, production, post-production, and distribution. Starting with development. This is where the project originates. It is the creation, writing, organizing, and planning stage for a project. A script may be an original screenplay, or the rights may have been acquired from a book. A preliminary budget is made. Key cast are attached, key creatives are chosen, main locations are scouted, and multiple script drafts may be written. The preliminary budget is developed by the production team. It's a rough outline of how much money they need to make the film. Once the preliminary budget is approved, a detailed budget is developed. This is when a producer and director, along with a small crew of creatives, begin writing and developing a detailed budget. The budget is broken down into 3 key areas: production, post-production, and distribution. After the development phase, pre-production starts. It is the planning process and execution of every task that must take place before production begins. It usually begins once the script is finished and involves the director, cinematographer, producers, first assistant director, production manager, production coordinators, and location scouts. Part of the process is locking the shooting script and creating shot lists, which are written details of the scenes to be supplied to the storyboard artist. After that, you would create the storyboards from the shot list. From the storyboards, we would then create previs. After that, the next step would be breaking down the script, identifying locations, practical effects, visual effects, and other things so that they can be budgeted and planned for. After finalizing the budget, you form a new company which limits liability and allows people to get paid. Then you need to hire department heads, scout and secure locations, cast actors, hire crew, get permits and insurance, schedule shoot days, perform a tech scout, arrange for equipment rentals, create a production schedule, and then choose vendors for visual effects and post-production services. The next step is production, also called principal photography. Principal photography is the phase of producing a film or television show in which the bulk of shooting takes place. Principal photography includes production design. Production designers are responsible for the visual look of a film. They identify a design style for sets, locations, graphics, props, lighting, camera angles, and costumes while working closely with the director or producer. Cinematography. That's the art and technology of motion picture photography and involves such techniques as the composition of a scene, the lighting of the set or location, the choice of cameras, lenses, filters, camera angles, and integration of any practical effects. The next area is direction. Directors are the creative leads of the film. They hold the creative vision throughout the whole process from pre-production through to the final edit. They are employed by the executive producer. The producer is ultimately in charge of a production. Then you need a VFX supervisor. Even films that are not big action films still have visual effects supervisors for the many little details that need to be taken care of. Visual effects supervisors work on a project from the early stages of pre-production and sometimes into post-production. They are the main point of contact between a VFX studio and the director and producer of the film. Together, they decide on what visual effect is needed for every shot of the film. Post-production follows production but may start before production wraps. When the filming is wrapped, the editing of the visual and audio materials begins. Post-production refers to all the tasks associated with cutting rough footage, assembling that footage, adding music, dubbing sound effects, and editing. During this process, the post-production crew pieces together raw footage, adds sound including music, voiceovers, and sound effects, and adds in the visual effects. Sound design consists of 5 elements: dialogue, Foley, sound effects, background, and music. Visual effects are also added during post.
Men with plates on sticks, wire removal, CG paint brushes, and Vision with a blue face. Yes, WandaVision had a bucket load of awesome VFX. WandaVision had the perfect marriage. Of practical and visual effects, that is.
Then there is color grading. This is where the final look of the film is determined. The camera captures raw data with the widest range possible so as not to limit the creative choices in post. This can be a very artistic and subjective process. Finally, the titles are added. Main titles are usually supplied by a designer, and they will be edited into the feature during post. And finally, when the film is finished, comes distribution. Distribution is the final stage in a project where producers are looking to make a return on their investment. This can be from cinema distribution, selling to a TV network or streaming service. This is not only where technical versions for digital cinema projection, broadcast, and streaming are created, but also subtitles and locators are added into a localized version for each country. Foreign language dubbing and cultural adaptation are created here as well. Well, that's a very brief overview of how movies are made from concept to theater, but that doesn't tell us where our clients fit in. Most of our media and entertainment clients are in post-production, both editorial and visual effects, but some are involved in the production process as well. Let's take a brief look at what they do. VFX, or visual effects, is a broad term for shots created or enhanced using computers. This encompasses everything from computer animation, compositing, rotoscoping, rig and wire removal, set extensions, motion capture, simulations, and much, much more. So where does GPL come in? In production, VFX now helps our clients by renting them storage systems and workstations for the production office on location. In post-production houses and VFX shops, they need everything from high-end workstations to high-performance networks and storage that the GPL VAR team supplies. They also must pass security audits, and that's where our GPL security team provides guidance. Breed can provide staffing augmentation for their projects. And finally, GPL's Software Services division provides tools and expertise for managing their projects using asset management databases. Here's a look at some of Software Services clients. Our team works with most major studios and studio-driven production companies on feature films and TV series. We are also currently working with game companies. In conclusion, I hope this gives you a better idea of how movies are made and how GPL services the media and entertainment industry.